Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a pickup video. Maybe the only one in March. I'm not really planning on buying too much in March. I might have a couple of things on the way. I can't remember. Yes, I think I've got a couple of things on the way. But I haven't got a lot planned to get this month, mostly because things coming up. I've got my lad's birthday coming up, and then we've got HorrorCon, and so yeah, I'm not planning on getting too much, to be honest. Hello, mate. Yeah. Anyway, I've just come back from seeing my lad for a couple of days down at Stevenage, where he lives, and I've got a few pickups from there. Some movies, a couple of CDs, a few games, and I've got a few bits that have arrived in the post since I've been away. Hello, mate. Hello, little baby. Hello, little baby. You gonna sit down? Yeah, darling, you're gonna sit down. Come on, sit down there. That's it. Lay down. That's it. You lay down. Right. I'll try and make him a bit of space because he likes to come over this side of thing. Right. No, that's me drink, darling. You can't have the drink. Look. Daddy's drink. He's into everything. Hey. Anyway, this is Sullivan. If you've never been to my channel, he's my doggy. He's beautiful baby. Look at him. Telling me off because I'm scratching him. He's a funny little doggy. When he wants attention, he's fine, but if you try and give him attention, he'll growl at you. He's a bit like a cat in that sort of sense. Only when he wants it. Anyway, come over here, mate. Let's get to me first bits of me pickup. We get to me 2 CDs I picked up. First of all, I picked up a new release from Paul McCartney, and it's Man on the Run, which is the soundtrack to the Amazon Prime documentary that's not long been out, and this contains a few unreleased tracks as well as a few sort of like well known of his songs that were used in the documentary. It's a nice little set, really nice. It comes with a lovely booklet as well, which is really cool. It's got some lovely photos inside from the show. I love that picture. Really cool. And this covers his career from sort of his solo career and Wings, so sort of post Beatles. So it's really, really cool. So I managed to pick that up on CD, and I managed to pick up everyone's favourite album from last year, apparently, and it's called The Overview by Steven Wilson. Steven Wilson, who is the music producer and remix sort of master, and also lead singer of Porcupine Tree. This was his latest solo project called The Overview, out last year. He's working on a new one at the moment. And I listened to it on the way home. It's really nice. It's really mellow. It's very chilled, very ambient. It really reminds me of David Sylvian's solo work. So if you're a fan of David Sylvian's solo work, I think you will like this. It's really, really cool, quite laid back, really nice. So they were the 2 CDs I managed to pick up. I picked up a TV sitcom series that I've been wanting to get for a while, but never sort of really got a chance to sort of pick it up. But I have today, and it's the League of Gentlemen, seasons 1 to 3, and the Christmas specials, which is really cool. It's quite a good price, $17.99. Now, Sullivan, come here. Come here. Come on. Come down here. If you buy the 4K, it's £44, £45. I'm just thinking, wow. £45 for a TV sitcom. I don't really want to pay that just for Blu-ray. So I thought, I will be happy with the DVD. I've seen a few episodes of it, so I've not seen much of it, and I always found it quite bizarre, so I never sort of like returned to it. But I think I'm at that stage now where I can appreciate it, so I've managed to pick up the League of Gentlemen on DVD. Might review it on my channel if you're interested, just for something different. At the moment, HMV are doing on 88 films, they're doing 2 Blu-rays for 15, what a bargain, what a deal. So I picked up 2 movies. One to finish off my Peter Walker collection, because I missed out on that amazing box set. He's now barking because I'm not paying him attention. It's gone downstairs. But I've got them all already on Blu-ray, apart from this one. So I picked it up, and it's the film Schizo. So I was glad to pick this up. It's normally $14.99. Now here's the weird deal. These are $14.99 each, or 2 for $15. So you're paying a penny for one. So that's a crazy deal. So I've managed to finish off my Peter Walker collection. So I now don't need to really try and get that box set. Because if I do, I'd only be buying it for the booklet and posters and that. And I don't, and it goes for nearly £200 now. I'm not paying that for a booklet. So yeah, I was happy to manage to finally finish off my Peter Walker collection with Schizo. And staying with the O's, got all the O's. I picked up a Giallo, and it's called Orgasmo. So yeah, I'm sticking with all the O's. This is an Umberto Lenzi film. Really, really cool. I've been looking at this quite a while. I was going to pick it up months ago when we were down London, me and the lad, and I was torn between this and a new release that came out called Crawl Space. There's another film that I wanted in my collection because it's a Klaus Kinski stars in that one, and I like him. And I went with that. But now it's in the 2 for $15. So that was a penny, if you like. So I've got those 2 for the 2 for $15. What a deal. Absolutely amazing. Why did I do that? Why didn't I just do that? Yeah, so it's so cool. Really good. Picked up I think this is this film's been out years, but I think this is quite a recent release, a new re-release on the Cousin film label. And it is a French film starring Jean Reno called The Crimson Rivers, which I believe is a sort of cop serial killer kind of film. So it's got horror elements to it. Quite a dark film, I think, based in the French Alps. Himself and another policeman are out there investigating crimes, and they put their sort of skills together to find this sort of serial killer. I believe that's the premise of the film. I've been looking at this for quite a while, but it's always been on my radar and off my radar, if you know what I mean. In other words, it's been on my radar to get, but then something else has come up, so I just didn't buy it. So now finally I have. So I managed to pick that up on Blu-ray. It has got a 4K release, but for film the 4K was £25. This was 17, and for film I've not seen, £17 is a big enough dent in your wallet, I think, when it's something you're not sure about. But really cool. But there's never ever anything stopping you from upgrading if you love it, if you hear wonderful things about the 4K. But to be honest, if you've got a good setup, a nice TV, and you're playing it through a 4K player, it will pretty much upgrade it a little bit anyway to a 4K. So sometimes it's not even worth it. Next up, I bought a new release that came out this week on the Light Bulbs label, and it's called Obex. I've been wanting this. I've been and ahhing with this for a while because I've been quite interested in the premise of the film. It's based on a guy that's into sort of computer games, and he gets this new game, and he lives alone with his dog, and his dog goes missing, but he sees the dog in the game. So then he sends, I think, people into the game to rescue his dog kind of thing. It's a kind of weird, but it's a kind of science fiction, fantasy, horror film. It's got elements of all things like that. They describe it on here as a Eraserhead meets The Legend of Zelda. So that gives you a sort of a wide premise of what it's about. So it looks really interesting. When I first saw the cover, before I knew anything, because I saw this cover, I thought, oh man, it's going to be a folk horror, because it looks like a folk horror cover, doesn't it? But it's not. It's a sci-fi film. And it looks really cool. It's really good. It is filmed in black and white. So I managed to pick this up from HMV down in Stevenage. So these are all from Stevenage, these buys. Oh, I'll get to my online bits in a minute. So that was all the movies that I picked up in Stevenage. I picked up Obex, The Crimson Rivers, finally Schizo, and Orgasmo from Umberto Lenzi. So they were the movies I picked up, so I'm happy with them. And oh no, I've got one more film. I put it in my game pile because of the colour of the Blu-ray. It's the same colour of the games. Yes, I picked up another new release on Monday, a film that I saw early in the year with the lad, or it might have been just before Christmas. I can't remember. But I really enjoyed it, and he loves it, and it's Five Nights at Freddy 2. So this is the follow-up to the sequel. So I've got both of them now, so I might review them both in 1 week. So that would be pretty cool. Really in a rush to watch it because it's not long since I've seen it, but I will bring it to the channel. My lad picked it up as well. He bought the Steelbook. He picked up some nice movies down at Stevenage. He picked up Save the Green Planet. He picked up some Doctor Who movies. He picked up what else did he get? Naruto box set for his animation collection. He picked up what films did he get? Oh, Deadly Friend. He managed to get a copy of that. Bizarrely, they got a copy of that in Stevenage. I think they must have just had it floating around the back because it's out of print and it goes for silly money. Yeah, he picked up Deadly Friend on Arrow Video, so I was so chuffed. I said, mate, we're buying that for you because it's an amazing film, and it went out of print pretty much as soon as it got released. So that is the other film that I bought in Stevenage. So we get to me games. First of all, I'll get one that's gifted to me by my lad. I think it's a bit of a bizarre one. I think I brought this for him. It's called The Precinct. I think I brought this for him, and when I went to his house, it was a an unopened box on his table. So what's that? Because that's The Precinct. I said, mate, I bought you that back in December. He goes, yeah, I know. I've got it on Steam. So I said, well, if you don't want it, I'll have it and have it back. So he said, yeah, you might as well have it. So he gave it to me. So he kind of gifted it to me because he could have just opened it and traded it in or given it to someone else, but he gave it to me. So I've got The Precinct from the lad. Really cool. As I'm playing at the moment on my channel, and I will play some more today, Requiem, Resident Evil. I picked up some old back catalogue of Resident Evils, 2 from CEX. I picked up Resident Evil 2 on the PS4. Now you might say, why have you picked it up on the PS4, Geoff? Because it's got a PS5 release. Yes, it has. But I picked this one up, and I picked that one up on the PS4. I've had them both before. I've finished them both, but I've traded them in a long time ago, and I've not returned to them. But as I'm enjoying this one, I want to go back and replay these. So why the PS4? Because I now have 2 versions of them, of these games, because these work on the PS4, these work on the PS5, and also on the PS5, both of these games have a free PS5 upgrade. So when you put it in to the machine and it installs, it offers you, do you want to upgrade it for free to the PS5 version? Yes, please. So you got the PS5 versions and the PS4. So if your PS5 ever breaks down, or you're going away and you've got a spare console set up and there your old PS4, you can play them on there as well. So that's really cool. So that is why I picked them up on the PS4. Because I just thought, because Argos were doing an offer, 2 for $25, and both of these titles are in it. Now there is an Argos in Stevenage, but they only had the 7 in stock. They didn't have 2. They had number 3 in stock, which if they'd had number 2 in, I would have got 2 and 3 from there, and brand new, because they were PS5 editions. But I just thought, no, they don't have it, the PS2 one, so I won't bother. And 2 for $25, that was 15, that was 10. That makes 2 for $25, right? And I've got 2 versions. I've got the PS4 editions and the PS5, because I say you got the free upgrades on those. Sticking with Resident Evil, I did pick one PS5 one up, which is the Resident Evil 3, because we were in the local Sainsbury's in Stevenage, and they have an Argos inside, and that was in stock at the store. So I picked it up, and that was about £14. So I've upgraded and dealt up with my Resident Evil titles, so I'm dead chuffed with them. So that's really cool. So now we're going to get to what I've come home to in the post. First of all, I received a box set from eBay called Love, Death and Apocalypse, 3 films by Alex de la Iglesia, who is a Spanish director. And I managed to pick this up online this was on there for £18.99. This edition is out of print. They just released it on 4K, I believe. I think it just got released maybe this week or next week. Because I was thinking about maybe picking this up in Stevenage on the 4K, but I'll just check on eBay because of my eBay balance, just to see what they got. And it said this was the Blu-ray edition, the limited edition one. So limited edition contents in there, and it's sealed, not opened, £18.50. I think, yep, I'll grab that, because the new one is about £40, I think, or it might be, actually I think it's I think it's £44.99 for the new edition. But so yeah, I picked that up. Now Alex de la Iglesia is a bizarre sort of surreal kind of filmmaker. His films are quite surreal. They're quite black humour in it. There's quite a few horror elements in there, and I think this does have like a mixture of sort of like black comedies and horror films in it. So it's pretty cool. It's good to get a bit of Spanish cinema in my collection, because I like world cinema, as you know. I'm not just into American films, you know. They're quite down in my favourite sort of films, really, to be honest. But yeah, so I managed to pick up some Spanish movies. But talking about American movies, I did pick up a classic one today. 2 classic films on this set. This is released by Eureka, and it's The Cat and the Canary and the Ghost Breakers, starring Bob Hope. So this is obviously a remake of the infamous, famous black and white Cat and the Canaries on there, and another film called The Ghost Breakers, and they're both spoof kind of horror films based on, you know, ghost haunted sort of films. So I managed to pick that up. I have opened it because I was planning to watch it before I went to see my lad, but I got caught up watching something else. Anyway, it's got some nice sort of like different covers in there, which I really like. So that's really cool. So that's what came in the post, was that. I've got a new release from Amazon in the post. I think this is the Belgium film I was talking about, horror film, called Calvier, which has just come out this week. Again, it looks quite extreme. Let's have a little read of the back. Okay, it says, in the early 21st century, as European art and horror films began to push the boundaries of extremity and endurance, Calvary emerged as one of the standout entries, a shattered debut from Belgian director Fabrice de Welts. Calvary's ability to subvert genre and wrong foot his audience marked the arrival of a major new talent. Travelling cabaret singer Mark finds himself stranded when his van breaks down in the remote mountain region of France, but is rescued by a local innkeeper who offers help to Mark to fix the van and give him shelter for the night. But Bartel is fragile and unstable, and Mark reminds him of his long-lost wife, and soon Bartel is refusing to let Mark leave. With his van sabotaged and no means to call for help, Mark's ordeal has just begun. A terrifying dark comic tale that drew comparisons to Deliverance, Straw Dogs and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So it's right up my street, right, isn't it? So that sounds really interesting, really cool. The cover's quite distasteful. It does look quite violent. I know there's no violence on it, but you can just see by the sort of violent expressions on these people's faces. So yeah, I managed to pick that up. Calvary. Cool. And last but not least, I've got an edition for my Criterion collection. Just one this time. But it's a classic, guys. An absolute classic. By Erwin Yellsworth Jr. And it's the original The Blob, starring Steve McQueen, which is a 1958 film. So yes, my lad has this, but I didn't. I've got the remake, but I don't have this one. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to pick The Blob up because I do need the original in my collection. And being on Criterion, it's going to add another beautiful, wonderful title to that little collection of mine, which is really cool. And that's it. That's all my pickups from my little road trip down to Stevenage and from when I received it. So I've got some music, TV sitcom, loads of movies, some games. I'm made up, really. Massive shout out to my lad. See you soon, guys. Mark.